Sometime last year, I got a little obsessed with 3x3 shape mods, and then I got bored of them and left them on my shelf to collect some dust. Then just over 2 months ago, the same thing happened and I bought more shape mods. And being the shape mod professional that I am, I have concluded what my favorite shape mods are. Now by far the most popular 3x3 shape mod is the mirror cube, which I actually don't own. The thing is, the best ones are kinda expensive and I don't want a crappy mirror cube. And this is why my trusty friend Seb has let me borrow his. Not actually for this video, but for a competition's unofficial event. After practicing with this cube a lot, I have really enjoyed solving it and now I'm making this video. The shape mod that the mirror cube is competing against is the Fisher cube. The reason is because it's my favorite one that I have currently. All this basically is taking the cut of a 3x3 and turning it 45 degrees. Now, you may have noticed that the mirror cube is one color, or maybe two if you're counting the purple to blue color change. Each individual piece is a unique shape, and you use that to put the pieces into the correct position according to the different heights of the centers. Currently, I'm unsure which one I like better, so this video will help me decide. Now, there will be a few categories that these puzzles are battling in. The first one would be hardware. There is a clear winner in this category, the mirror. GAN released their mirror cube just over a year ago, and with the brand famous for its premium puzzles, this cube has revolutionized the mirror lock market with speed, performance, and corner cutting. It even has piece magnets to help with aligning. Meanwhile, in Fisher Cube land, this YJ Fisher Cube is based on the mechanism of a budget cube from 2013 and struggles with stability due to the lack of magnets and the nature of the way the cube turns. This is the only Fisher Cube that I've tried. There could be better ones out there, but either way, I don't think anything would outclass what GAN have produced. Next category is solving experience. With the mirror cube, I just used CFOP. I used the largest side on bottom for the cross, matching the longest pieces with the respective centers to finish the first step. Then I used experience with the puzzle to pair up F2L pieces and insert them into their slots. Then I recognized OLL, and then PLL. This definitely takes time, practice, and experience to get good at, but it's basically like solving a 3x3 but looking at different things. It's like speaking, but in a different language, kind of. Look ahead can be hard in this puzzle, along with anything recognition based. Otherwise, there isn't anything you have to worry about. For the Fisher cube, I am and highly recommend being white-yellow color neutral. It's easier than doing it on a 3x3, which you will be able to see later. Picking up the better cross takes experience, and it isn't all about which one takes the least moves or better finger tricks. You see, one thing that you have to worry about, and it's something you have to worry about for almost all shape mods, is the center orientation. If I just solve the cross in the least amount of moves, as you can see, the edges are rotated. So while solving the cross, I would need to orient centers at the same time, and I'll pick the better cross with the center orientation in mind. Here comes the insane part, F2L. Here's what the F2L pair looks like. Because the edge orientation doesn't matter, F2L is extremely speedy. Provided with the slow turning, look ahead wouldn't be an issue, and F2L can be done pauseless most of the time. The only time when F2L edge orientation matters is last pair. Here, I count how many last layer edges are oriented. If it's odd, I use an odd amount of rotations to solve the pair. If it's even, then I use an even amount of rotation to solve the pair. Now, I'll have a possible OLL. Here, you need to know which OLLs twist centers and which don't. For example, this one twists centers, and this doesn't. Now personally, I'm not bothered to find algs that don't twist centers, so I just 2-look it if I can't use my main alg. Now here comes the fun part. Every single PLL looks like a normal PLL, but when you go to do your PLL, you realize that this is a Fisher cube and not a 3x3. The corners and the edges have swapped positions, so some PLLs look like others. For example, the UA perm is actually an AB perm. This Z perm is actually an E perm. And the V perm is actually an F perm. Here's a chart of all of them. Just like the OLLs, some PLL algs twist centers. Again, for those that twist, I just 2-look them. The mirror cube has a pretty normal solution compared to the 3x3. The Fisher cube has easier parts, but also a more interesting solution. Lastly, we have times. I average around 40 to 50 seconds for both cubes, even after having the Fisher cube for around 8 times as long, but doing twice as many solves on the mirror cube. Each puzzle is different in their own way, with the easy steps and the hard steps cancelling out each other, making the difficulty around even. Both these cubes get 1.5 points. I guess that's why I couldn't tell which one I like better. But maybe you can. Subscribe!